Caspian and the Lost Magic. One morning, Caspian woke up and felt something was wrong. He lay in bed for a moment. The room was quiet. The candles on his desk were dark. Usually, they lit themselves when he opened his eyes. But not today. He sat up slowly. He reached out his hand. He whispered the small words he always used, the ones he had known since he was a boy. But nothing happened. Caspian was a wizard. He had been a wizard for 42 years. But this morning, for the first time, his magic was gone. He lived in a tower at the edge of a forest. It was a good tower, tall, a little dusty, full of books and jars and dried herbs hanging from the ceiling. A small garden grew around the base, with plants that only bloomed at night. He went downstairs, slowly, without the usual blue glow that followed him from room to room. He put the kettle on. That, at least, still worked. The fire came from matches, and the matches still worked. He sat at his table with a cup of tea and tried to think. Where does magic go when it leaves? He did not know. He decided to walk into the village. He rarely went. People there knew him as the quiet wizard on the hill. They waved when they saw him. Sometimes they left things at his door, bread or fruit or a note asking for help with something small. Today he walked with no blue light and no floating hat and no small magic animals following his steps. He was just a man in old clothes, carrying a cup of tea that had gone cold. The first person he met was a girl named Sable. She was 9 years old and she was sitting on a fence. "You look sad," she said. "I lost something," Caspian said. "What did you lose?" He was quiet for a moment. "My magic," he said. Sable looked at him seriously. She had the kind of face that takes things seriously. "Where did you have it last?" she asked. That was a practical question. He had not thought of it that way. "I don't know," he said. "I went to sleep with it. I woke up without it." "That happens with socks," said Sable, "but not usually with magic." He walked on through the village. He stopped at the bakery. He stopped at the bookshop. He stopped at the fountain in the square where children were playing and pigeons were drinking. He noticed things he had never noticed before. The baker had flour on her ear. A small dog was sleeping on top of a pile of warm bread, very pleased with itself. Two old men were playing chess and arguing about a move that had happened 3 games ago. He sat on the edge of the fountain for a while. He realized something. For many years, his magic had done things for him. It opened doors. It carried things. It found things. It even fixed things. He had not paid much attention to the world because the world always came to him. Now, without it, he was paying attention. The baker saw him sitting there. She came out and handed him a piece of bread. "You look like you need this," she said. He ate it. It was very good bread. He walked home slowly, through the long way, through the forest path. The trees were tall, and the light came through the leaves in gold and green shapes. A bird landed near his foot and looked at him with one bright eye. He stopped. He was not sure why. He crouched down slowly. He held out his hand. The bird stepped onto his fingers. It was small and brown and completely ordinary. It sat there for a moment. Then it sang a short song and flew away. Something warm moved through him. Not magic, or not the kind of magic he was used to. Not the blue light and the flying objects and the clever little spells. Something quieter, older, maybe. He kept walking. When he got home, Sable was standing at his gate. She was holding something. "I found this by the big oak," she said. "I think it's yours." She held out a small glass bottle. Inside it, there was something that moved. A soft, turning light, very pale, like the inside of a seashell. He took it carefully. "How did you know it was mine?" he asked. "It had your name on it," she said. She pointed. On the bottom of the bottle, in very small letters, it said, "Caspian." He looked at it for a long time. "What does magic feel like when you hold it?" she asked. "I'm not sure anymore," he said. And he meant it in a good way. He uncorked the bottle. The light rose slowly and moved through his fingers like warm water. The candles in the tower lit up, one by one. His head floated gently off the hook by the door and returned to his head. He was a wizard again. But something was different. He felt it immediately. The magic felt less automatic, less easy. It was more like a choice. He thought that might be better. He made 2 cups of tea. He and Sable sat in the garden as the sun went low and the night blooming flowers began to open. White and soft and good smelling, like rain and honey. "How did you know to look for it?" he asked. "I didn't," she said. "I was just looking for interesting things, and that was the most interesting thing I'd found all week." He laughed. It was a real laugh, the kind that surprised him. "Thank you, Sable," he said. She finished her tea and climbed back over the garden gate the way she had probably come in. "Goodbye, wizard," she said. "Goodbye," he said. He watched her walk back through the forest, small and serious and very good at finding things. The candles burned steadily. The plants turned slowly toward the moon. Somewhere above him, an owl called once and went quiet. Caspian sat in his garden for a long time. He thought about all the things he had not looked for in 42 years. There were quite a few of them. He made a short list in his head. He decided tomorrow he would start looking. And so, dear listener, tonight before you sleep, think of one small thing you noticed today. Something you might usually walk past. A color, a sound, a moment. Magic is sometimes very big and very loud, but sometimes it's very quiet, and it has been sitting right there waiting for you to look. Sleep well, dream gently, and good night.